this session here will give a little more light on the significance of you knowing that you are the children of God. So, because most Christians will say that they'll refer to John 3:16. Most Christians will refer to John 3:16 to justify their contention that all men born from Adam, white people, Germans, French, Japanese, Africans born from Ham, everybody that God excluded from the covenant. Today, Christians will say that John 3:16 is the evidence in the Bible that justifies the contention that all men born from Adam are entitled to be covenant heirs of God and beneficiaries eligible to inherit the covenant promise of everlasting life. But let me tell you a little bit about John 3:16. John 3:16 is talking only about biblical Israelites. John 3:16 is Jesus talking to Nicodemus. John 3:16 in no way or form, shape or form, is evidence, explicit or implicit evidence that God adopted all nationalities born from Adam to be covenant heirs. Now let me just tell you something real quick. People use John 3:16 to say that John 3:16 says, whosoever believes shall be saved. And they'll use the word world in John 3:16 to contend that the word world implies to all nationalities born from Adam. The word world in John 3:16 does not refer to all men born from Adam. The word world in John 3:16 is not talking about all the people born on the planet Earth. The word world in John 3:16 is not referring to all men born on the planet Earth. The word world in John 3:16 simply refers to the nation of Israel. Yes, I know you never heard of that, but that's the truth. Now let me explain it to you. The word world in John 3:16 refers to the people God chose to be his promised seed and chosen people. It refers to the nation of Israel. The word world is a singular word. It didn't say worlds, it said world. So you understand the difference between a plural and a singular. John 3:16 used the word world as a singular. Now, understand this, that God created many worlds. I said worlds. That's what an S on the end. That means plural. So, that means that there's more than one world. So, which world in John 3:16 is God referring to? As I said before, God created many worlds. Yes. I didn't just make that up. Look at Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2. It states that God created the world. Go read it. Don't believe me. Everything I say, I want you to go and check it out.
The Epistle of Paul, the Apostle, to the Hebrews, chapter 1. God, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. By whom also he made the worlds.
The Bible says God created the worlds, plural. So there's more than one world. And the world that God created, the worlds that God created are races and nationalities. How do we know this? Let's look at Isaiah 45:17. In Isaiah 45:17, the scripture says that God so loved Israel, a world without end. In Isaiah 45:17, God said that Israel is a world, one of those many worlds that he created. In John 45:17, God refers to the nation of Israel as a world that God so loved.
Chapter 45. Thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden, to subdue nations before him, and I will loose the loins of kings, to open before him the two leaved gates, and the gates shall not be shut. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. He shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. He shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
So now, that's just wanted to make that clear to you, that the world in John 3:16 is referring to the nation of Israel that God so loved, according to Isaiah 45:17 and Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2. All right, y'all. I might come back later on and give you a little bit more, but for right now, I got to go because my workout team have to go and refreshing themselves. Yeah. As I said before. As I stated before, y'all, we were rushing. But John 3:16, understand this before you leave here today. Understand this, John 3:16 is not scripture that definitively and to any degree establishes that God opened up his covenant to all men born from Adam. God never, ever covenant and made it available to all nations and nationalities born from Adam. I would take the liberty to state that none of you have heard what I just taught you today. I've been going to church for the last 200 years and reading the Bible about 50 times. But that just goes to show you that the indoctrination and the bamboozledness that you've been taught has clouded your mind and prevented you from reading and interpreting the Word of God for what it says. I bet none of you have ever been taught that John 3:16, the word world in John 3:16 does not refer to the planet Earth. The word world in John 3:16 does not refer to what you people commonly refer to as the planet Earth. The word world in John 3:16 refers to a nation of people. The word world in John 3:16 refers to a race, a nationality. Understand that. The word world in John 3:16 refers to a race or nationality of people. Particularly in this case, in the context of John 3:16, the word world refers to the nation of Israel. So how can I say that the word world in John 3:16 refers to the nation of Israel? Because, as I stated before, Isaiah 45:17 says that God so loved the world. Hold on. We're driving and encountering some traffic here. John 45:17 states that the world that God so loved is the nation of Israel. Read Isaiah 45:17. It says, God so loved, I'm trying to find it here. God so loved, God loved the world of Israel. Isaiah 45, let's see if I can find it, 45:17. Yeah. Let me see where I can read, where I got my glasses on. Let me see if I can. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end. That's what John 45:17 says. Israel shall not be confounded or ashamed. A world without end. Israel is identified by God as a world without end. Israel is declared by God as a world without end. So there is no issue or debate about the fact that Israel is a world without end. There is no debate that the word world refers to a nation or race of people. As I just read, Scripture refers to the word world as a race and nationality of people in the context of 45:17 of Isaiah. It refers to the word world as the nation of Israel. That's right. So, let that go to rest. There is no argument that can be made. Your ignorance and confusion has been resolved. Your confusion and ignorance of John 3:16 has been completely resolved and is beyond any rebuttal or debate. All right, that's all I have today to say about John 3:16 and the misrepresentation of the meaning of John 3:16. All right, y'all. Until tomorrow, I will say sayonara.